I don't really remember how I first got to know Pokemon, but I think it was because I really wanted a pet dog when I was young. But my family doesn't really allow pets, so I wanted a digital pet. But I didn't want to clear up its shit every time I came back. Anyway, to play the new Pokemon, I needed the Nintendo DS. The Nintendo 3DS was out, but I had no idea that it was backwards compatible. I was like 7, so of course I didn't have any money. So I asked some grandpa to bring it to me on Christmas. And on Christmas, I was like, DS. Santa gave me 2 games with it, which were New Super Mario Bros.
Classic.
And my first Pokemon game. Pokemon White. Yeah, SoulSilver is not my first Pokemon game. Anyway, looking at Pokemon White, I was not happy. I wanted the one with the white dragon on it. This one is black. I swear I'm not racist, okay? I'm just racist against dragons. But I cut Santa some slack because the fucking title is white with a black dragon. Like, what the fuck, Game Freak? Anyway, I had no choice, so I boot up the game and began my first journey in the Unova region. I don't know if anyone can relate, but when I was young, I only used one Pokemon, my starter, and basically tried to beat the whole game with that Pokemon. In this case, it was Oshawott. I was dumb enough to beat the electric type gym leader with him by just trying over and over, just wishing for a crit, dodge, basically anything, and because of this stupid method, I couldn't beat the game. I got kind of bored with it after reaching the Elite Four. So I just stopped playing Pokemon for a while. But one day, I saw a video on YouTube that was a video showing legendaries in Mount Silver, and I was speechless. When you're 7 years old, all you care in life is catching cool Pokemon and bragging it to your friends. That video made me want to play the game. After some research, I found out that that game was Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver. The way I played Pokemon White was dumb, but I was still a stupid kid. That same playstyle transferred over to Pokemon SoulSilver. I chose Totodile as my starter, and I remembered that I actually beat all the Johto gyms with only a Feraligatr and an HM Slave. But I couldn't really beat the Elite Four how many times I tried, so I wanted to build a team for the first time. I had immense influence from a YouTuber that I watched a lot as a kid. He's retired now, but I want to give a mention to Purple Rodri, my childhood YouTuber that made a lot of great memories. He played a lot of Pokemon games, including Pokemon HeartGold. He would name some of them after characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was the show I loved at the time. And, am I the only person who loved The Last Airbender but didn't watch Korra after one episode? Anyways, I wanted to make a team like that, but in the end, I didn't, because I didn't want to spend the few hours of game time I had in a week pressing the A button non-stop trying to level up 5 more Pokemon. So, because of that, I moved on to different Pokemon games, like Pokemon White, which actually has a white dragon on the cover. I played the game for a second time. I was new in middle school. I wanted to play the new Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch, so I decided to buy the Switch after I beat my favorite Pokemon game on the DS. So I deleted my old save file and started a new one. I also picked Totodile this time and named him Crocs, because I only wear Crocs. And I made a team that I personally think is the best team I have ever made. Maybe it's because I have so much love for these Pokemon, but I think that this team can handle anything I throw at it. With this team, I beat the Elite Four and the champion for the first time. With defeating the champion, I was finally able to go to Kanto and experience Kanto for the first time. And I absolutely loved it. It was amazing that you could just travel to a different region in the same game. And it was a region that we had already visited in the past. They leveled it up in the remake and added new things like Battle Frontier and the Pokeathlon, as well as my favorite addition, the Safari Zone. The Safari Zone is one of the places I spent the most time in the game. It's an absolutely fabulous place where you can catch Pokemon that doesn't appear in the wild. And I absolutely love this place, because I didn't have Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum when I was young, so I couldn't catch Pokemon from Sinnoh. There were a lot of cool Pokemon from Sinnoh, like Garchomp, Electivire, Weasel. The Battle Frontier was also fun, but it wasn't something I did a lot. But the Pokemon was amazing. I could play a lot of mini games with the Pokemon I caught, which is a kid's dream. I have so much nostalgia for this game, but I also think that it is the peak of 2D Pokemon. Honestly, looking at the 3D Pokemon games that are coming out recently, I think it might be the best Pokemon game ever. It has one of the best Pokemon rosters of any Pokemon game. Like, how could you hate Pokemon from Gen 1 to 4? They're the classics. The next reason I love this game is because of the OST. Like, damn, the fucking music is so good and gets better every day as I grow older. I will admit that the battle theme gets old after a couple of battles, like any RPG. But the best OSTs are the ones from the calm and peaceful towns and parks. And if you're an old timer and played the original Gold and Silver, you can reminisce of old times with the Game Boy item that makes all the songs their old versions. This game doesn't really have a big plot. It doesn't have some mayor going around trying to prevent some chaos 1,000 years later, and some big bad group trying to overtake the world. Yes, we do have Team Rocket, but the only thing they really did is sabotage a radio tower and a secret power plant under a little store. It's just a 10-year-old kid going on an adventure. Every time I play this game, I can go back to a time when I had no worries and just had fun. And that is why I love this game, and I think the game is the perfect Pokemon game. Overall, this game is one of the best games I have ever played, and it is just so important to me that it was my childhood game, and I could experience this wonderful masterpiece of a game as a kid. As I grow older, I will probably play this game over and over again. Because it's just that good.